So I have to ask you, what went through your head when making a pure post score at the small forward position?
Got the height advantage, and I got the strength advantage.
On 2K TV this week, the Warriors' Jordan Bell. More 2K TV Ask a Dev. An interview with a community member, and your top plays.
Yeah, 2K TV.
Welcome to NBA 2K TV. I am Chris Manning.
And I'm Alexis Morgan. I don't know about you, Chris, but my favorite season is NBA playoff season. You excited?
Yes, and this is when everything matters. The championship is the most important thing to players, and the Warriors this year, everybody's gonna have all their eyes set on them as they gear up for yet another championship run.
And I think one of the biggest additions to their roster was Jordan Bell, and we caught up with him after practice one day. Check it out. We're hanging out with NBA champion Jordan Bell. Welcome to 2K TV, Jordan.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Now, you were drafted and then you got a championship. What was it like to be a rookie on a championship team?
A lot of people go their whole career without ever winning a championship. So be able to cross that one off my bucket list first year is pretty dope.
Now, when I talked to you last summer, you said that Draymond was the best trash talker on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Then you added DeMarcus Cousins. Who's better, Draymond or DeMarcus?
Draymond. It's hard to outdo him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's tough.
What's your thoughts about the NBA 2K League and esports in general?
I think it's dope that they expanding the game more like that. I know teams are have their own league now when they can draft their own team, stuff like that. So.
Warriors Gaming recently drafted the first female NBA 2K League player.
Shakita with her first bucket ever, the first female to score in the NBA 2K League.
What do you think about that?
I'm always fighting for gender equality. Like my girl Sabrina at Oregon, she's been killing this year, and she still doesn't get as much recognition as she should. So I think it's dope that they keep expanding and trying to equal out the playing field as much as possible.
Who is the best NBA 2K player on the Warriors?
Ooh, probably DJ.
Damian Jones.
Damian. He's a video game dude, so I'll probably say him. Yeah. I don't know. I probably would beat him though.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would beat him.
Okay, that's
I'm
a lot.
undefeated. I already lost one game.
So what's your my player like?
My by player, small forward, blue hair, fro. Just something different. Shooter, but can also play mid.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on 2K TV.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. Look forward to seeing you on the court.
Thank you.
SCO, haha, UT. I am the 2K MC. And let's take a look at the 2K Compete events for this week. Free throw tourney. 100,000 VC on the line. Yup. Court Conqueror. Nice. And double my points in Pro-Am? Oh man, we're gonna need a new binder after that event. Jeez Louise. But check out my new cards with this week's 98 overall My Players. And tell me, where is the daily spin wheel in the neighborhood? I forget. And I want my chance at boosts, VC, tattoos, and clothing. Because I deserve it. Okay, back later with the last top play of the week vote. Of the year.
We are joined by another community member on this segment. This time we're joined by AP, who is absolutely dominating all the competition on NBA 2K using a small forward pure post score. So I have to ask you, what went through your head when making a pure post score at the small forward position?
Well, me and my boys, we run small. So I was looking at it like, if I run the 3, I can post up and be able big enough to grab rebounds. So I'm 6'10", 260. And then if you're playing rec, you gotta look at it like most people that play the small forward position, usually like 6'7", around 6'8". So I got the height advantage and I got the strength advantage.
So we noticed that in every single game mode that your player plays in, you have a 500+ win percentage. So let's start with MyCAREER. What team are you playing for?
I played over 19 seasons.
Okay.
I'm playing for the Knicks right now. I played for almost every team on the West.
How many titles have you won?
I think I'm on like 6-1. I simmed 2 seasons.
Okay, so you're playing through everything. So what's your biggest accomplishment when it comes to MyCAREER and your MyPlayer?
Probably just the points, the stats. I got a triple-double. I got a quadruple-double a couple of times. I play on Hall of Fame, but it's pretty much easy. Like, everybody accomplished.
You're bowling all those small forwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some park. Are you on 2s or are you on 3s?
I'm on both. I usually play the 1. I run with a lockdown. He's 6'9". Me playing the 1. So I can bully the point guard every time on the 2. Or if you have a stretch, I can bully them every time because my strength is 90, 98, or 99. When they switch on me, the thing about having a small forward, better than having a center, you can spin off a glass screen way easier because you're smaller. When you're the same size as them, it's kind of hard. But when you're a small forward, I'm faster and I'll be able to shoot.
That's smart. So when you're taking these point guards and you have these mismatches and you start taking them inside of the post, what's your go-to move?
I actually got a couple. I like to spin off and go back in the post position and then fade right away. I like to go at it quick. They can't run that switch if I go to my move quick enough.
What about the rec center and pro-am? Who are you running with? What's your team look like? What are your archetypes? How you play together?
We run wild lineup. There's times where we don't even run with a center. Sometimes we'll have 2 bigs and I run the 2. And when you go to rec with the 2, I'm 6'10", 260. I got a playmaker. That's bully every time.
What kind of teams actually beat that kind of mismatch? Because that's a lot of length, that's a lot of versatility.
Like the other team got a lockdown, they got to put that lockdown on me. I have to have a person that can't really score on my team. Because if you think about it, it's a mismatch either way. If I'm running the 2 and everybody else is bigger than me, that sharpshooter, that playmaker is going to get bullied every time by whoever. So either way, it's going to be a mismatch.
All right, so you're dominating all the competition in 2K. You have a 500+ win percentage in every single mode. Are you going to try out for the 2K League and become a pro?
I might try it next year.
Yeah, you didn't try it this year?
No, I didn't try it this year.
Interesting.
I'm still on my first bar for 99.
Is that the goal to get there?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on 2K TV. We love hearing stories like this and keep crushing it out there on the court.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now is the time for one of my favorite segments, Ask a Dev. This segment is all about you guys, the fans. The community feedback is being heard and our developers are listening.
And we're here with our gameplay developer and director, Mike Wang.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm pumped.
All right, first question up. How far into the year do you guys start working on the next NBA 2K game?
For gameplay, we're kind of different from the rest of the team because we are always just kind of evolving more toward better basketball gameplay. So some of us are working on features that are not going to see the light of day till maybe 2K21, 2K22. But for the most of the team, I think we start probably around August is when we'll start talking design. And then September, we're heavy into pre-production for the next version. And at the same time, half the team is still working on the previous game. So we're constantly doing both.
All right, we have one from Eyeball iGame who wants to know, why isn't shooting more so based on shot quality, attributes, and openness instead of shot-based bailouts and timing?
So Eyeball, this is something that I actually polled the community with last year at some point. I think I asked the question, really, like what should matter more to shooting? Should it be your attributes and openness, or should it be about your timing on the sticks and your stick skills? Because they're both super important, right? You have to have good IQ, but at the same time, we got to separate people who are really good at the sticks, because there are people who pride themselves on having, being able to hit the frame of their jump shot. Guys in the NBA are knocking down these crazy shots that you don't expect to go in. That's what makes it so exciting. So we got to keep that element of surprise in there.
At Baller Boy J wants to know, why do you guys continue to have players throw the ball out of bounds on full court passes?
We want to figure out better ways to get the defenders to be able to stop those kinds of plays from happening, but it was affixed to cherry picking. Guys were leaking out early and they're throwing these 90-foot passes and getting dunk after dunk after dunk. So we had to put some kind of a penalty on it. So we had the break starter badge to give some players an advantage in those long court passes. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's really, we got to figure out ways to Why doesn't it happen in real life, I guess, is the first question we always ask. And then we try to scale it back from there. Like, what do we need to add to our game to counter these things that people are doing? We do a lot of studying of Twitch users and looking at the 2K League guys and seeing all these YouTube videos and all these comments of what people are doing to kind of break things. And we're constantly chasing after all these fixes that we need to do to make it balanced.
Last question, the one that everybody has been waiting for. Will you guys ever add back pushing in future games?
Wow, someone wants pushing. All right, so can I tell you the story about how pushing got into the game in the first place?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for 2K19, we added the cages, and that was trampoline basketballs, as you probably know. And people were jumping off the trampolines and dunking all over each other, and it was a lot of fun, but there was zero defense. You couldn't block a shot, you couldn't stop anybody, and so we thought that pushing would be a great way just to like, hey, this is kind of a more arcadey mode, let people knock each other around a little bit. And then where we went with it was, this is a mechanic that kind of makes sense, obviously to a lesser degree in the NBA, but it kind of makes sense that you can, just initiate some kind of physicality as a defender. And so we started to take all of our off-ball rides and our off-ball contact and our chucks into this new system. And it became something that kind of worked in some ways. And it was another big exploit fix that we wanted too, is that people were camping in the paint, if you remember this. They were just standing in the paint in the take charge, and they were dumping down on these guys, these bigs, and getting dunks over and over again. And so we really wanted a mechanic to let the defense say, hey, I got to get you out of the paint, especially in the park, just knock them out. For whatever reason, people were able to take this mechanic and start to abuse it in other ways and start to knock defenders around. And so it just broke down. And so I think it's one thing that is completely gone in our game now for 2K20. I don't see it coming back in the same form, especially not as a button that you press to push someone around. But the physicality on defense is a big part of the game, and we're going to continue to evolve that and figure out the best way to implement that.
For 2K19, that was one of the biggest things discussed by the fans. So you're looking at stuff like that all the time, you and your team, and you're kind of deciding on what to patch and hotfix. I'm really glad we got that patch. That was a big thing that the community was vocal on, and you guys, made it happen.
We got to get that feedback, because people ask me a lot, like, why did it take so long? Why did it take 9 patches or whatever it was to get this patched out? And really, we didn't start hearing about this. It kind of blew up later. And so that's when we started to be aware that, people were taking a mechanic that was meant for good, but they were just kind of abusing the game with it. So it took time.
But I love that, we're looking at stuff, we're always monitoring, and Mike, thank you so much for coming on NBA 2K TV.
The insight was awesome.
Thanks for having me. This is a great segment. I look forward to doing more in the future.
And for the community, you guys can continue to submit questions using hashtag 2KTV Ask a Dev on our social channel at NBA2K_2KTV.
Top plays time, and we're in JRC with E Street D-Lo. Activating takeover, dropping 2 bodies, and knocks down that green triple. They both look physically and emotionally hurt after that. Look how slow they got up. They shouldn't have got up. Now it's J crossover 34 in triple threat. Pokes the ball free, dives, and cashes in the game-winning ground heave. Kirilenko hits everything in triple threat. Where's that Robbie clip?
And Kirilenko has pulled up on me in triple threat online and made me want to throw my controller because he hits threes from everywhere.
Why do you think you need to throw controllers? Get good! Ha 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 ha! Next is Joshua playing some couch multiplayer. Oh yeah, offline. Time winding down, gets blocked, gets it back, and hits the fadeaway 3 at the buzzer. See, that's why it's unfair to use the Warriors. How can you defend that any better? And you're playing on the couch. How did you survive doing that to somebody who can physically touch you? It's insane. Last up, Trayvon White in the streets, getting the clean 360 lob off the backboard.
Yeah, 2K TV.
Yes, this is 2K TV, and you did make it. Now let's see if you have what it takes to stay here. So vote now for your final 2K TV WoW top play of the week. I'll be back next week with your top plays of the month. And after that, you will choose the top play of the year. You don't want to miss those. I really want you to see all of them. Wink.
Well, the fans have voted, Alexis, and unfortunately, your lineup loses to my all-Laker lineup in my team starting five.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, well, guess what? I win. They voted for me. Thank you, guys. You guys know what's real.
Nah, I think my squad is still better.
The good news is that we're going to have your squad face off against my squad in an actual game to finally settle this.
Who do you guys think will win? You guys can continue the conversation on social media. Remember to add us at NBA2K_2KTV. Vote for me.
And we'll see you next week.